Darling, I'm feeling pretty lonesome. I'd call you on the phone some, but I don't have a dime. Darling, you're so far behind me. Tomorrow's gonna find me further down the line. Taking me some paper, pencil in my hand. I'm gonna write, darling, you know I feel the cold nights, thinking of the old nights spent along with you. Darling, the tear is in my eye now, knowing I can try now to make it back to you. Darling, love you more than ever. Wish we were together, darling of mine. Darling, I'm feeling pretty lonesome. I'd call you on the phone some, but I don't have a dime. Darling, you're so far behind me. Tomorrow's gonna find me further down the line. Oh, now, darling, I'm feeling pretty lonesome. I call you on the phone some, oh yeah, but I don't have a dime, not one dime. Darling, darling, I'm feeling pretty lonesome. I call you on the phone some, but I don't have a dime. Darling, oh yeah, I'm feeling pretty lonesome. I call you on the phone some.
Family and friends, welcome. Thank you for gathering to pay your respects and to celebrate the life of Budimir Matic, also known as Buddy and Bud. And Ellie often called him Buddha as well, but he didn't particularly like that, so I will refer to him as Bud throughout today's service. I'm Dina D'Antoni. I'm your civil celebrant for today. And it's truly my honour to guide you through this time of remembrance. It's an honour because despite the grief that is felt and understood today, this is in fact a celebration. And we acknowledge a life that has left such an indelible imprint. Bud would want the memory of his quirky and humorous nature, his dedication to his family, and his love for his country and wildlife to be some of the things that we talk about today. Anything but the sadness of his passing. And so we'll honour that, and we might even share a little bit of a laugh here and there along the way. On the family's behalf, I'd like to welcome and thank anyone who may be joining us via the live stream today. And I hope that you can all feel just as welcome and involved as those present in the chapel. All of our love and all of our care is with Bud's family today. And firstly, to his beloved wife of 65 years, Ellie. On behalf of the team at Simplicity Funerals and myself, please accept our heartfelt condolences for your loss. And those condolences are also extended to Melissa and Rob and Bud's 4 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. We also express love and care to members of Bud's extended family or friends who may be joining us. And I'd like to open the service today with a poem. It's by David Harkins and it's called He Is Gone. You can shed tears that he has gone, or you can smile because he has lived. You can close your eyes and you can pray that he will come back. Or you can open your eyes and you can see all that he has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see him, or you can be full of the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember him and only that he's gone, or you can cherish his memory and you can let it live on. You can cry, close your mind, be empty and turn your back. You can do what he would want. Smile, open your eyes, love, and go on. Bud leaves so much behind that will always be with you. His influence, his values, teachings, and many lasting and vivid memories. And you'll always hold those close to your heart. Some may have looked at Bud's tough exterior upon his Harley, and if they made a snap judgment from the many tattoos, a lot of which he gave to himself, they might have misread him completely, because I'm told that he was actually a big softie with a unique kindness and a heart of gold. And that heart of gold was particularly for his family. It was for magpies, blue-tongued lizards, and a range of other wildlife creatures, including insects. He leaves behind many unforgettable stories, and we'll hear some of these when I share Lisa's tribute. One that really captures his essence is how he always kept a shovel handy, ready to help Lisa rescue a tree from the side of the road. This speaks volumes about his love of nature and his belief in doing rather than just talking the talk. Budimir Matic was born in Serbia on June 27th, 1940. And at the age of just 5, losing both of his parents saw him move to an orphanage where life was anything but easy. He learned from those early days to be strong, to be resilient, and to make his own fun and opportunities. And true to his love for animals, he told the story of himself and a friend stealing a goat and concealing it as best they could from the teachers, which they eventually did find it. At the age of 19, he left his home country behind and he immigrated to Australia, the country that he always called home. Soon after, he met his Ellie, and initially the language barrier they faced may have been a bit difficult, but it's something that they quickly overcame. And from their early moments together until those final days, they would often share a sandwich. And with this example in mind, Bud would always say that when you have a sandwich, you don't need language. The union of Ellie and Bud also gave him the family life that he had been missing. He loved his in-laws dearly, and he always enjoyed a special bond with his sister-in-law, Corrie. Bud particularly loved the outback and bush, and when he first heard the call of a magpie, it inspired a sense of wonder in him. And from then on, he raised magpies and loved these pets so much that his family described Ellie and Bud seeing these birds like their children. In his later years, his care for animals grew in importance to him, and the empathy that he had for their rights was obvious to all who knew him. Bud could turn his hand to any new skill and perfect it pretty quickly, or persevere until he could. He loved restoring his classic cars and was particular about their upkeep. Those around him could show an interest but not touch his prized possessions. When he couldn't find the parts he needed, he improvised. And this ability to adapt and gain what he needed once saw him machine a whole new dashboard for his car, and this was a clear example of his talent. Career-wise, he delved into quite a few. He did watchmaking and a watchmaking apprenticeship in his younger years, and he always kept this skill, rebuilding upwards of 30 mechanical clocks and watches. He's also been an auto electrician, a diesel mechanic, a security guard, TAFE lecturer and welder, but the list of what he knew and could do goes on. An avid gardener, he loved his native plants and veggies, and this pride saw him boast about the best homemade salad, a delight that his family finds hard to match. However it is that you remember Bud, I'm sure that each of you have plenty of wonderful stories to share that you'll hold in your hearts forever. And it's by keeping his name very current in conversations that you keep his memory alive. Bud's wife Ellie and his daughter Melissa have both written some heartfelt words of tribute. It's my honour to share these with you now. Firstly, from Ellie. My dear husband, I will miss you in so many ways. You were always my rock, my strength. We had many good times together, always travelling here and there to buy car parts, but I didn't mind as long as we were together. You asked me many years ago that you wanted the little blanket that your mother made to be buried with you, and I have kept my promise to you. You always called me darling, and I'll miss these words. My rock, my strength, forever yours, Ellie. That's so beautiful. Thank you. And now from Melissa. My dear Dad, where do I start and finish with what I want to say to you or about you? As your daughter, my early memories were of a hard-working man making a home for your family. As the years went on, you still worked hard and maintained the family home with Mum by your side every step of the way. You loved your family and especially Mum. You always said to me she was the kindest, good-hearted person. Your passion for restoring old cars back into life was extraordinary, and your skills and dedication to your hobbies is in every one of us. So it will live on. My enthusiasm for gardening came from you, and if you work hard, you'll get results. Dad, we had happy times, but we also had sad and troublesome times throughout the years. But somehow, being head of the family, you got us through it all. In more recent times, when Mum's health failed and she went to live at Coniston Aged Care, you suffered with the separation, your mental health showing the effects. And during this period, you would ring me every morning before I went to work, and 5 minutes would turn into an hour. We spoke about every subject possible, and it was through this that I got to know you as a person, not just my dad. You were vulnerable and had fears, and you were lonely without Mum being at home. Dad, you always held me up high and always instilled in me to stand up and don't let anyone put anything over you. It was your way to protect me when you knew you couldn't anymore. I love you, Dad, and can't think of my life without you. It already feels unbearable. I'd like to thank a few people on your behalf. First of all, my mum, your wife Ellie. Her unwavering love for you. Our home was full of love because of her. My partner Rob, for all the help he has given to you and Mum, forever, always on duty. Auntie Corrie and family for your love and devotion. Diane for being there for Dad no matter what. He always said, I can trust Diane with my life. Michael and Lauren for many good years with Poppy and for gifting him with beautiful grandchildren, Ava and Charlotte. And for Michael's shaving skills and tenderness you gave Poppy while he was in hospital and you made him look handsome. Lauren, Poppy kept a little poem that you wrote to him as a child. He treasured it and he thought it was amazing and he kept it right until the end. Lisa, you were best friends with Poppy, always there for each other. Two hearts as one. Thierry, you made Poppy proud the day you married his granddaughter. And Robbie, Poppy's skills run through your veins. Never lose sight of this gift. Valu, thank you for all your love and care you gave Poppy. He was proud of you and always had admiration for you being a registered nurse and being part of our family. Susan, my parents loved you. You were a big part of our life, and Dad thought of you as a daughter. As I conclude, this year has been bittersweet. I was gifted with a beautiful grandson, Kirby, and my heart could not be more full. But it's the year that you would leave us too. I know you will continue to walk by my side and keep me safe, Dad. I love you, your daughter, Millie. Thank you, Millie, for such beautiful words. I'm going to take just a little bit of a pause in talking now, and I'm going to invite Coralie forward. She'd like to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today to celebrate the life of my uncle, Budimir Matic. It means so much that so many people have gathered here in his honour for such a kind, funny and strong man. To me, Uncle Buddha just wasn't my uncle. He was someone who brought laughter, warmth and light everywhere he went. He had such a special way of making you feel at ease, often with a joke, a smile, or even one of his cheeky comments. Some of my favourite memories with him were simple, but they're ones I would truly remember. I remember, as beautiful Diane said today, how often he would talk with my grandmother for hours on the phone about recipes. They would chat forever. I would have to often tell them to get off the phone. It would never end. Laughing, swapping ideas, and sometimes arguing about which ingredients made a perfect dish. That was something that they would bond over always. My favourite memory was when my mum and I would always make his favourite, a cheese and tomato sandwich. He always used to say, Vita makes the best cheese and tomato, but it had to be with the crust off because, of course, he swore he'd get curly hair. This line still makes me laugh to this day every time I think of it, every time I eat a tomato and cheese. He had his final tomato and cheese with my mum and I just a few weeks before he passed, and he had the biggest smile and his favourite tomato juice. I'll also never forget when he and Auntie Ellie came over to help me finish my gaming room. We spent what felt like hours debating where to put the shelves for all my collectibles. Meanwhile, Auntie Ellie and my grandma sat together having tea, laughing at us as we tried to figure out why somehow the shelf ended up sideways. The final time that my mum and I had seen Uncle Buddha, Auntie Ellie looked at both my mum and I and pointed at Uncle Buddha and said, "Do you know who this is?" And he replied and whispered, "Blondie." We all had to laugh. And then she pointed at me and asked, "Who is this?" And he said, "Little Vita." We all laughed and the nursing home staff members just had to join in. Those moments full of laughter, love and togetherness are what I'll always hold in my heart. As we're here today celebrating his life, we honour his wishes. He wanted us all to be together to remember him, his stories, his spirit, and to share those memories with one another. That's how he wanted to be remembered, surrounded by family, friends, laughter and love. Thank you, Uncle Buddha, for everything. You brought so much joy into our lives and strengths. Rest peacefully. We'll miss you deeply, but we'll carry you in our hearts forever.
Thank you, Coralie. Well, he really was such a character, wasn't he? Well, you're in for a real treat now because we'll take a look at Bud through the eyes of one of his besties, his granddaughter, Lisa. The funny side of Bud. The honest, until you crossed him man that she knew. And I'm just going to share some anecdotes that Lisa has written, and I'm sure that they'll bring a laugh or two, especially if you also remember some of these times. Long chats from everything from starter motors to snails in the veggie patch. You taught me how to splint a blue-tongue lizard's leg, and that you can be tattooed, ride a Harley and still stop to help the worm cross the path. You loved testing out who was quickest off the line, my swift sport or your triumph. You taught me if someone tries to con you, it's okay to steal their fully grown sheep and transport it home on the back seat of your car. You loved to make Borac like it was a finely tuned science experiment. You always kept a stock of musk lollies in your car for road trips and would carefully ration them out. You took me for my first pony ride in Kanahuka and picked garbage bags full of grass for the horses down the road because the grass on the other side of the fence is always better. You loved to try to beat me at daily salad photos and agreed that tomatoes were best cut with a pocket knife and eaten with salt, heaps of vinegar and olive oil. And you were a Nescafe Blend 43 man, but loved a bougie oat magic, claiming each time that it was the best coffee you ever had. You gifted me my love of wildlife and my fight to protect it. You lost feeling in your hands and legs towards the end, but you still climbed to the top of the ladder for me. You fought so hard to stay with us long enough to meet my baby and see me become a mum. He entered this world to hold my hand now that you no longer can. My best friend always, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Well, we'll now take a look back over a visual tribute of Bud's life. And please relax. Let your minds cast back to the many special times that you shared. I'd like to thank all of you again for your attendance here today, united in love and in respect for Bud. For those of you who are saying your final farewell at this part of the service, you may be thinking about the various ways that you can continue to honour Bud's memory. May his legacy be felt in every garden bloom, every lovingly prepared salad, every beautifully restored car or project, and every quiet moment of thoughtfulness. And may the light that he brought into your lives continue to shine in the simplest of everyday moments. Family and friends, this concludes the service here in the chapel, and in just a moment, Bud will be escorted out to the hearse to his favourite track of music, followed by the immediate family, and we will then proceed to the graveside service. Please be upstanding.